Hi boys and girls, so we're going to talk about ecosystems, and we're going to be talking about how ecosystems can change. So an ecosystem is kind of like a habitat. It's the area where all the living and non-living things live and they interact with each other. So an ecosystem can be a pretty large place, like a whole mountain range can maybe be in the same kind of ecosystem. Or it could be a smaller place, like my backyard has its own kind of unique ecosystem. In my backyard, there are some big pine trees. I'll kind of turn the camera here so you can see it maybe a little bit. This is a picture of my backyard. There are some big pine trees out there, and then some maple trees and oak trees as well. There are some grass, there's grass, there are some different types of bushes. There are lots of squirrels that live in my backyard, some bunny rabbits that hop around back there, probably lots of bugs and insects that I don't even necessarily know about or am aware of, and lots of birds that live in my backyard. So my backyard is its own little ecosystem where those animals and plants rely on each other and work together to be able to support one another. So, you know, some of those animals maybe provide some fertilizer for some of the plants, fertilizers like their poop, and then some of the plants act as food for the animals. So the animals eat maybe some of the acorns and nuts and things that are coming from the trees. So it's an ecosystem where it's kind of like a habitat or a home where the plants and animals and all the living and non-living things work together, rely on each other for survival. So you're going to be learning about how ecosystems can change though. Starting this week, we're going to be looking at how ecosystems can change very, very slowly over time, completely on their own. And that's called succession. You're going to be looking at how succession works. And then next week, we're going to be talking about how ecosystems have changed in Ohio. We'll talk a little bit about glaciers and wetlands and how those have changed in Ohio, and also some invasive species that have come into Ohio to cause changes to the ecosystem. So to start, you're going to learn about succession. So click on the other video links to learn a little bit about succession today. That's again just how an ecosystem can change very slowly over time if it's left all alone, all on its own. Like in 100 years, my backyard wouldn't look like that anymore if I left it completely alone for a long time. So succession is again how an ecosystem will change and turn into a maybe new, completely different ecosystem slowly on its own over time. So click on the other videos to learn more about that. And we'll be studying how ecosystems change.